We all build walls inside us, not from stone or steel, but from the quiet weight of our own beliefs. Each one formed to protect us from pain, rejection, or failure. But over time, those same beliefs that once kept us safe start keeping us small, confined, and limited. They tell us who we can't be, what we can't have, and why it's safer to stay the same. Stay with the familiar, the known. That wall you feel? It points us toward that negative belief, that limiting belief. It's not life holding you back. It's an old definition, still doing its job long after you've outgrown it. But here's the truth. The wall was never the enemy. It's just a belief waiting to be updated. And the moment you see it clearly, and you discover the limiting or negative belief, your mind will open a window, a few minutes where your brain is ready to rewrite itself. That's where alignment begins, when protection turns into presence, and limitation becomes direction. Because when you see the wall for what it is, you stop fighting it and start walking through it. Before memory, before belief, feelings, and emotions, there was awareness. Not an idea, a rhythm. That quiet sense behind the noise, the part of you that's still listening, even when your thoughts are shouting. Every one of us begins the journey of life the same. We arrive curious, unguarded, reaching for the world like it's a friend we already know. And then, brick by brick, we start building walls. Someone tells us what's safe, what's wrong, what's impossible. A teacher frowns, a parent sighs. A friend laughs at the wrong moment, and we think, oh, maybe I should hide this part of me. And then, brick by brick, we start building walls, adopting, holding on to belief systems. Sometimes, even clinging to them until the very last moment. All those new beliefs, new foundations upon which we grow and develop, are necessary. Some are good, some are bad, some are neutral. But it doesn't matter, because every single one of them is a step in the architecture of who we are becoming. Each belief shaping not just how we see things, but how we feel about what we see. Even though emotion and feelings come first, and only then we start building those belief systems and structures, layer upon layer, it can be like someone tells us what's safe, what's wrong, what's impossible. A teacher frowns, a parent sighs, a friend laughs at the wrong moment. A stranger stares at you the wrong way. A mentor hesitates before saying, "You can do it." Heartbreak and a heartache. Also, when moment of joy is met with silence instead of celebration. And countless moments like these, the examples are just endless. And slowly, we begin to shape and redefine ourselves on and around them. We think, oh, maybe I should hide this part of me. Maybe I should go this way instead of that way. Maybe I won't do this again, not after what happened. We don't notice how many bricks we carry. We just call it growing up. Until one day we look around and realize the house we live in was built entirely out of our fear-based beliefs. But here's the thing. Those walls weren't built to trap you. They were built to guide you, protect you. Your mind's only job has ever been to keep you safe, despite the high cost. We all have this part of us that knows. Walls are meant to shelter you from storms, not to become the weather you live under. Here's something simple but powerful. Every belief you have is a neural pathway, a small road your brain built to make sense of life. The more often you walk it, the smoother it gets. That's why old habits feel automatic. They've been paved by repetition and emotion. Now, the magic part. Each time you question one of those roads or hit a wall, just pay attention. Look and observe it instead of running down it. That way, you open a neuroplastic window, a short period, about 15 minutes, when your brain becomes soft clay again. In that window, you can reshape yourself. You can trade an old quote-unquote truth for a new beneficial and improved belief system. But don't think you have to force it. Transformation doesn't begin with effort. It begins with observation. The moment you stop fighting your limitation and simply watch it, it begins to lose its authority. The wall trembles, not because you pushed, but because you saw, you noticed. Let's make that real. Maybe somewhere inside, there's a voice that says, "I'm not enough." You might not remember when it started, maybe a childhood moment, maybe a slow collection of disappointments. But it's been whispering so long it feels like fact. And because you believe it, everything you do bends around it. But if you pause, even for a second, and listen beneath that voice, you might notice something softer hiding underneath it. That belief wasn't born from truth. It was born from care. A younger version of you built that wall to protect you from rejection or pain. It wasn't your enemy. It was your bodyguard. But the guard stayed on duty long after the war ended. You don't have to destroy your negative beliefs. You can retire them with gratitude. Thank them for their service. Tell them you can take it from here and watch what happens. The wall doesn't shatter. It dissolves, quietly, naturally, into air. That's the moment your mind rewires itself. The old pattern stops being your default and becomes your choice. In that sacred 15-minute window, creation listens, not to your shouting, but to your clarity, not to your wish, but to your definition. You don't have to demand a new life. You have to describe it honestly to yourself again and again until your nervous system understands, this is safe now. So when doubt knocks at the door, don't slam it shut. Invite it in. Let it speak its fears. And when it finishes, smile gently and say, "Thank you for trying to protect me." Because that moment, that calm acknowledgement, is where alchemy begins. That's where survival becomes wisdom. Remember this: beliefs are not the enemies. Unconscious beliefs are. The instant you can see the pattern, you are no longer the pattern. You're the architect, not the wall. If you can meet success and failure and treat them both as teachers, you've already begun to walk free. You're not broken. You are not half gone, not lost or forsaken. Definitely not too late, not too far gone to begin again. You are not your mistakes and failures, not the voice that told you you can't. You are not the walls you built to survive. You are not defined by who you were when you were afraid. You're just built on blueprints that were never updated. And the beauty of being human is that you can redraw them anytime you remember to listen beneath the static. Every person on this planet, every choice we've ever made, follows the same invisible compass. We move toward what we believe will bring us pleasure and away from what we believe will bring us pain. That's it. That's the engine behind almost every story, every argument, every regret, every triumph. But here's the twist. That compass doesn't point toward truth. It points toward definition. If you've defined rejection as pain, you'll avoid opportunity. If you've defined stillness as laziness, you'll fear rest. If you've defined love as loss, you'll keep it at arm's length and call this act wisdom. Desire itself isn't your enemy. It's the messenger. Every time you feel that spark, that pull towards something bigger, brighter, riskier, that's life whispering, "This way." Think of a moment when you wanted something deeply. A change, a new beginning, a transformation. You could see it clearly, feel it rising in your chest. And yet, right before you reached for it, your stomach turned, your breath shortened, your body whispered, "Don't." That wasn't weakness. That was your nervous system confusing aliveness with danger. The body remembers what hurt. Maybe when you spoke up as a child, someone laughed. Maybe when you failed, someone said, "See, I told you." The mind recorded, expression equals pain. Visibility equals threat. So now, whenever you start to rise, the alarm goes off. Not because your body hates you, but because it believes it's saving you. This is how belief becomes physiology. It doesn't just live in your head, it lives in your pulse. And that's why change feels strange, because to the body, growth looks like danger, and familiarity looks like safety, even when what's familiar is suffering. Here's where transformation begins. You don't fix the compass by breaking it, you recalibrate it. Take one of your core reactions, for example. Maybe you freeze when someone compliments you. Maybe you procrastinate right after a breakthrough. Pause in that exact moment. Ask yourself, what does my reaction system believe this means? Furthermore, you can even ask yourself, in this scenario, this situation, what do I believe it's true about myself in order to feel those feelings, those emotions? You'll often find an old equation hiding beneath the feeling. Attention equals expectation. Success equals isolation. Love equals loss. Once you see the equation, you can rewrite it, because equations are learned, not laws. When you feel fear standing next to desire, that's not confusion, it's contrast. That conflict isn't a curse, it's curriculum. Desire is your map back to truth. It points directly to the definitions that have expired. Every longing carries a quiet permission slip. It says, you're allowed to become this version of yourself. The pain you feel around that longing isn't punishment, it's friction. The old self is trying to hold shape while the new one is being born. Imagine you've had a leg in a cast for years. The first steps after it's removed will ache, not because you're broken, but because you're using muscles that forgot they were strong. So next time you desire something that scares you, don't ask, "Can I have this?" Ask, "What belief would make this feel safe?" That single question begins the rewiring. It tells the nervous system, we're not in danger, we're in transition. Desire becomes healing once you stop shaming it. When you let yourself want, without guilt, without apology, you stop chasing what you already are. Listen carefully now. You are not broken because you hesitate. You hesitate because your definitions are outdated. Every time you pause at the edge of change, remember, it's not fear of the unknown that stops you. It's attachment to what's known, even when it hurts. So breathe through that pause. Feel your pulse. That's life knocking from the inside. Say quietly, I'm ready to want fully. And let silence answer back. You'll feel it, not as words, but as warmth. That's your compass clicking home, the body finally agreeing with the soul. Desire was never the villain. It was always the signal, the part of you that still remembers movement. And the more honestly you follow it, the more the compass points not just to what you want, but to who you are becoming. There's a small moment that changes everything. It lives between what happens and how you react. That pause, that almost invisible space, is the workshop of the soul. Every habit, every reflex, every story that ever owned you waits in that breath, whispering its advice. One voice says, stay safe. Another says, stay real. Only one of them feels alive. Choice doesn't begin with logic. It begins with awareness. If a decision feels small, contracted, shame-driven, That's the wall speaking. If it feels open, uncertain, yet quietly electric, that's freedom calling. Most people think emotions just happen. They rise, they fall, they pass. But emotion is language. It says, here's what you currently believe about yourself. When you feel anger, fear, guilt, or even pride, the mind is showing you the rule it's living by. The problem is, the rule is often hidden. So here's the key, a single question that turns the light on inside the cave. What do I need to believe about myself right now for this feeling to make sense? That's it. Ask it slowly. Let the answer come in words, images, or sensations. Don't analyze, just listen. You'll notice the emotion begins to translate itself. I'm angry becomes, I feel unseen. I'm anxious becomes, I believe I'll fail again. I'm jealous becomes, I believe there isn't enough love for me. Each answer reveals a belief that has been steering your life from the shadows. When you can name it, you've already loosened its grip. Because now the feeling isn't you. It's a messenger carrying a letter that finally got opened. Let's practice. Imagine you share an idea and someone dismisses it. A rush of heat fills your chest. Ask, what do I need to believe about myself to feel this? Maybe the whisper comes, I believe my ideas don't matter. Now you're not trapped in anger. You're meeting the part of you that once needed approval to feel safe. Another scene. You scroll through someone else's success online and feel that tightness behind your smile. Ask again, what do I need to believe about myself to feel this? To perhaps, I believe I'm running out of time. You see, it's never about the other person. It's about an equation you've been living by. Even positive emotions can teach you. When you feel proud after helping someone, pause and notice the belief underneath. It might say, I believe I can make a difference. That's a seed worth watering. This is the practice. Every emotion is a trail marker. Follow it, and it will lead you to a belief. See the belief clearly, and choice becomes possible. Alchemy means transformation through presence. You don't destroy the lead, you heat it until it becomes gold. In the same way, you don't fight the belief. You stay with it until it reveals its innocence. Ask your discovered belief a second question. What were you trying to protect? Most will answer softly, I didn't want you to be hurt again. I wanted you to be loved. I thought safety meant hiding. When you hear that, gratitude replaces judgment. And that gratitude is the fire of transformation. It turns fear into understanding, and understanding into freedom. Choice is not a single heroic act. It's a small ceremony repeated daily. Each time you catch a feeling and ask the question, you walk one step further from reflex and one step closer to awareness. Say you feel shame rising in your throat. Pause. Ask. Listen. Name. Choose. Over and over until your system learns that safety lives in honesty, not hiding. This is why awareness is sacred. Because every time you choose from awareness instead of fear, you re-educate your nervous system. You teach it that openness is safe, that truth is survivable. Over time, the brain rewires to match the soul, and that is alchemy, led into light. Think of yourself as both scientist and subject. The laboratory is your daily life. Each emotion is data. Each belief, a hypothesis. You don't blame the data, you study it. When you feel resistance, note it. When you feel peace, note that too. Patterns will appear, and soon the very act of noticing becomes liberation. You don't have to be fearless to be free. You only have to be curious. Because curiosity keeps the light on, And when the light stays on long enough, even the darkest beliefs begin to relax, whispering their final truth. I was never your prison. I was your practice. So pause and ask, listen, name, choose. That's how awareness becomes choice. That's how choice becomes change. That's the alchemy. There's a point in every journey where you've done everything you can. You've thought, planned, tried, corrected, and still the result doesn't fully rest in your hands. That's the moment where most people tense up. The voice of control says, if I just push harder, it'll work. But the truth is, sometimes the push becomes the problem. Letting go doesn't mean walking away. It means releasing the grip that's choking the process. We were raised to believe that control equals care, that if you stop worrying, you've stopped trying. But care and control are not the same thing. Care is presence. Control is tension. And you can't hear life whisper through clenched fists. When something matters deeply, a dream, a person, a goal, your nervous system equates release with risk. It thinks, if I stop holding on, I'll lose it. But the opposite is often true. By trying to control the outcome, you shrink what could have grown naturally. Think about it. Have you ever tried to make someone love you by explaining harder? Or tried to force creativity by sitting at the desk longer while nothing came? The tension doesn't protect you. It prevents movement. Letting go isn't the end of effort. It's the beginning of alignment. Letting go without giving up means this. You stay engaged with your path, but you stop fighting the timing. You keep your heart open, but you stop demanding the shape of the answer. You don't withdraw your energy, you withdraw your anxiety. It's like planting a seed. You water it, you give it sunlight, but you don't stand there screaming at it to grow. You let nature do its part. And the same applies to everything you're building. Your healing, your career, your relationships. You act, you tend, you release. Let's make this simple. Example 1, relationships. You've done your best to communicate, to show up, to love honestly. Now, you give space. You trust that truth, not pressure, builds connection. Ask yourself, what am I afraid will happen if I stop trying to control this? If you've said what matters, let the relationship breathe. Example 2, work or goals. You've sent the proposal, applied for the job, launched the idea. Now, instead of checking your inbox every 10 minutes, redirect that energy into improving your craft. Ask yourself, what's still in my control that feels alive to act on? Then do that, and release the rest. Example 3, personal growth. Maybe you're trying to break an old habit or heal something heavy. You keep checking for progress. Am I better yet? Am I healed? But healing isn't a switch. It's more like breath. You can't rush it, but you can participate in it. So instead of forcing change, ask, what's one kind thing I can do for myself today? Do that. Then let time do its quiet work. Control says, if I stop worrying, everything will fall apart. Trust says, if I stay present, everything will fall into place. The difference is attention. Control watches for danger. Trust listens for direction. And the more you practice listening, the more you'll notice something extraordinary. Life starts meeting you halfway. Synchronicities, timing, intuition, they're not mystical. They're the language of alignment, and you only hear them when you're not drowning in noise. So when you catch yourself clenching, emotionally, mentally, physically, pause. Take a slow breath and ask, what am I afraid will happen if I stop trying so hard? You'll find the fear beneath the effort, and once it's seen, it softens. That's how trust begins, not through faith alone, but through experience. Watching life work with you when you stop fighting it. Letting go isn't the end of discipline, it's the beginning of wisdom. You still show up, you still act, you still care. You just stop believing that control equals success. Because the truth is, the universe has never once forgotten you. It's only been waiting for you to stop pushing long enough to listen. So keep showing up, keep choosing what feels true, and when the time comes, remember to let go without giving up. When you've learned to see, to choose, and to let go, what comes next isn't control, it's participation. Life stops being a puzzle to solve and becomes a rhythm you move with. This is the flow of alignment. It's not about perfection, it's about coherence. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions finally walking in the same direction. Alignment begins quietly. You notice you no longer argue with every moment. You speak slower, breathe deeper, listen more. You start to sense when something feels right before you can explain why. That's the voice of alignment, a language beyond logic, but never against it. Flow isn't magic, it's physiology meeting awareness. When your nervous system feels safe, intuition has room to speak. When you act from that calm, your timing matches reality instead of fighting it. You stop chasing moments. You meet them. You'll know you're in flow when effort feels natural, not absent, just unforced. The same action that once drained you now seems to energize you. You finish a conversation and realize you didn't need to defend anything. You start writing or painting or speaking and lose the sense of time, because time is following you. Most people live life like a mirror, reacting to reflections. But alignment flips the direction. You start moving from cause instead of effect. Imagine you wake up anxious about something unknown. Instead of asking, "What's wrong?" you ask, "What's moving?" You realize the anxiety isn't danger, it's energy trying to change shape. So you breathe, center, and let that energy turn into motion. A call, a message, an insight. That's how flow translates mystery into action. It doesn't mean life stops challenging you. It means challenges become choreography. The person who frustrates you becomes your mirror of patience. The delay in plans becomes your lesson in timing. The loss becomes an empty space where something truer can fit. Alignment doesn't protect you from life. It makes you available to it. Let's make it real. Example 1. Morning. Before you touch your phone, place a hand on your chest and ask, "What energy do I want to bring into today?" Then listen for one word: calm, clarity, courage, and let it guide your tone. Example 2. During conflict. When someone misunderstands you, pause. Notice the first impulse: defend, correct, prove. Then ask, what part of me wants to be heard right now? Sometimes what's needed isn't the right argument, but simple presence. Example 3. In creation or work. Before forcing productivity, ask, is my energy open or contracted? If it's open, act fully. If it's tight, move your body, breathe, reset. Flow thrives on rhythm, not strain. These tiny adjustments anchor mystery into matter. They remind you that spirituality isn't an escape, it's precision in motion. Even alignment drifts. That's normal. There will be days you lose balance, days you forget what you know. Don't turn that into failure. It's just the tide pulling you back to awareness. When you feel out of sync, don't search for what's missing. Ask instead, where did I stop listening? Retune, realign, return. Flow is never lost, only drowned out. Silence will always bring it back. The deeper you live in alignment, the more you realize you're not the doer, you're the instrument. Life plays through you. Sometimes it sounds like courage, sometimes like patience, sometimes like stillness so complete it feels like grace. Mystery isn't meant to be solved, it's meant to be lived. And the way you live it is by staying open in the middle of the unknown. You've walked through awareness, choice, surrender, and trust. Now, flow is what happens when all of them move together. You no longer need to chase alignment. You simply stop resisting it. Let life meet you halfway. Let mystery move through you like air through lungs. And when it does, act. Speak. Create. Love. Because that's what alignment was always for. To let the divine intelligence inside you become visible through how you live. This is the flow of alignment. Not control, not chaos, just life, finally moving as you.